Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, 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 everybody. An exciting day, night, morning for depending where you are calling in from. We're here on our day 2 of our 21 days series, and it's extremely exciting because this is really participants from all over the world, and I can see them flowing in more and more here in Zoom until we're packed, and then you all are shifted over to YouTube. So hello to YouTube users too. Your turn will come. Keep trying. Come and join us in Zoom. This is a 21-day series that literally goes every single day for 21 days in a row. And if you miss a day, don't worry about it. We are going to build up as we go, and you learn to know more about yourself, about you. It's a proper journey into your inner being. And you having managed to join us tonight is step 1, is your first step. Now let's see where it takes you. Let me introduce myself very briefly. My name is Sia. I call in from Austin, Texas. And you have maybe seen me before more in a music role. I have got my piano here, as you can see, all my instruments behind me. And I'm more than excited to support the program, usually from the music side of things. Our course is going to be intense. It's going to be intense, but extremely joyful and also very peaceful. There will be enough time for silence. Today's session is called Expand the Silence inside. And there's so much to silence. I know everybody who knows me knows it's hard for me, silence. But once we're in the silence, that's where the journey begins. And our meditation, right? Get free from thoughts, overcome problems, anxiety, stress, find a strength in you you never knew you had. And an enormous amount of joy, because that goes hand in hand. We'll be there for you. There is a huge crowd of supporters here who have been meditating for shorter or longer period of time, who are here to help you, to coach you, to support you, to teach you, and be by your side. And for the beginning, I'd like to introduce my fellow presenters here into the room, please. Hello.
Hello.
Hello,
Hi.
Poornima. Hello, Kerry.
Hi,
Would you
nice to
like to
meet you.
introduce yourself very briefly?
Sure, I'm Kerry. I'm a mom of five and I live in the San Francisco Bay Area. And I work in the architecture and design field. And I'm really pleased to be here tonight. And it's just going to be a real joy to talk about, to take a little deeper dive into what Sahaja Yoga is. So I'll look forward to that.
Yes, and Kerry will do our first meditation lead. So I'm looking forward to that little bit introduction. Poornima, hello.
Hello. Hi, everybody. Nice to be here with you all again. I'll be doing the guided meditation for this evening. And what else can I say? I'm calling in from Boston, and I work in the theater field, so lots of drama. And then I come to meditation to chill right out. So it's a good combination.
Totally. And we all know each other in person and online. Tell me briefly, Poornima, what made you jump onto this series and support the series with your busy, busy, hectic lifestyle? What is it? What
Well,
drove you to support?
it's such a treat for me, actually. It I think anyone who's been practicing Sahaja Yoga for a long time, you get this feeling of just joy kind of bubbling over, and you just want to share it because it's sort of like if I've had the experience like of seeing a rainbow and like stopping people on the street to be like, look, there's a rainbow. So like, when there's something just beautiful, you just want to share it. And this is a really fun way to share Sahaja Yoga with people all over the world. So
That's
it's
true.
yeah,
That's
it's
true. It's very
fun.
unique. Very unique. How about you, Carrie?
Yeah, this is such a great opportunity, everyone. Just grab it with both hands because for us it's so fulfilling to do this, but to be able to feel on your nervous system for the first time for some people, this something new, something different happening. Just you just feel washed clean and refreshed by it. And so these programs are such a joy to do because we feel amazing during and afterwards.
Absolutely. And today's schedule will be Kerry starting with an introduction, And Connie
Yes.
will take over with the self-realization steps that we've done yesterday in yesterday's session. That was a fantastic session. I loved Matt's music. And after that, we shall once again listen to an excerpt of a speech of the founder of Sahaja Yoga, Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi. And after that, I shall do a little bit of music for you. And after that, Kerry will take over. And please do not leave the session if you would like to hear a little bit about question and answer session at the end, where your questions that you can put into the chat under chat Q&A shall be answered. So for now, I'm going to disappear. And Kerry, please,
See you in a
handing
bit.
over to you.
All right, so I just want to talk a little bit about Sahaja Yoga. This is a real revolution in the field of spirituality. There's nothing quite like this. You get your self-realization for your first experience. And this is different because normally we would go through the process of trying to learn how to meditate and, do different exercises maybe, try different mantras, different things that people have tried to get to their self-realization. And you might be saying, well, what is self-realization? So I'm going to show you on the screen a chart of our subtle system. And so let's put that up and we'll take a look at kind of your inner software here. There's a subtle system within us that is built in. You don't have to do anything. It's all natural. And you have three sides to your nervous system in the subtle system: the left side, the right side, and the center. And these are like channels going upward. And at the base of your spine, in this triangular bone called the sacrum bone, is this dormant or sleeping energy, this feminine energy known as Kundalini. And when it's awakened in the right conditions, it moves spontaneously through these centers that you see in the middle here. Up the spine, it moves upward. And when it reaches the number 4, the heart, it awakens our spirit within us. This is the seat of our spirit. And you see the flame of the spirit there, and it makes its way further up. And as you see the crossing of the left and the right, this is where we get stuck in meditation. This is where we're thinking too much, we're reacting too much, and we can't get silent. So the founder of Sahaja Yoga, Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi, has really found this amazing method of opening this up. Opening up this center so that we can go into this silence that we're talking about. And it's in the absence of the thoughts and the reactions. I wouldn't be able to talk about Sahaja Yoga without introducing the founder, Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi. She has had a family. She was in the Indian independence movement. She supported her husband through his diplomatic career. And at the right time, when her children were grown up, she embarked on this spiritual movement, really. And it's unprecedented. What she's done is monumental, really, in the field of spirituality. Nothing like this has occurred for at least 1,000 years. She noticed in the late 60s and 70s, there were so many people throughout the world who were seeking something more meaningful, seeking their spirit. And she saw people were lost. And in her despair, really, and in her desire to do something, she went alone to a beach in Western India and meditated throughout the night and witnessed the opening of this crown of the head. And really came up with a very simple and natural and spontaneous method whereby we can get some of this experience, some of these strands coming up on the top of our head, and we begin to feel it on our hands, and we feel it as a cool breeze. And you might say, well, why do we care about a cool breeze? Well, we have to start with the truth that comes from within ourselves. We have to start with a real experience in the present moment. And then we can embark on clearing ourselves and going deeper. And so tonight we'd really like to take you deeper into this meditation. And the method is so simple. These the placement of our hands on our energy centers and going through these affirmations it's sort of like if you have a combination lock and you're trying to open it and you turn to the left 45 and you turn to the right 75 and 45 again, and then it opens. And so the founder, Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi, as a mother, really in her concern for the seekers, has come up with something very simple. So we don't question while we're going through or react. Keep your mind open and just listen and go through these centers and without judgment, and then see what the result is, because the proof is in the pudding, right? Once you can start to feel that and you feel the bliss and the silence, you know you've got it. And you have so much support here. One of the things that happens when you get your self-realization is you begin to feel that sense of well-being that comes from within, a sense of satisfaction. You are able to watch your thoughts. You're able to be less reactive. And one of the great gifts of Sahaja that Shri Mataji was able to also create within this system is the ability to have one person give this experience to another person through a collective experience. So we can share in this, we can share the love and the vibrations that we feel, and we can help to balance and bring about peace and bliss for another person. So it's a collective movement. It is absolutely free. There's no admission charge to get to your spirit, as it's your own. It's your birthright to have this. So if you're ready and willing to just go on this journey with us, I'll turn it over to Poornima, who's going to take us through the steps of self-realization and into meditation. So Poornima, take it away.
Great. Thank you, Kerry. All right, everybody. So this is the moment we've been waiting for. We're going to plunge in. I'll ask you to just keep your eyes open initially, because I'm just going to show you here on the screen what we're going to be doing with our hands. So the right hand is going to be placed at different stations on the left side of the body. And, we'll start with our hands open on our lap as we meditate. This is a kind of receptive posture. And then we'll bring the right hand to the heart area, and we'll say some affirmations there. And then it'll go to the upper part of the belly on the left, then to the lower part of the belly above the left hip. Then we'll come back to the upper part of the belly, back to the heart, over to the left side of the neck, and then to the front of the forehead, and then to the back of the head, and then to the crown of the head. And when you get here, you'll want to extend your fingertips and press firmly with the center of your palm, because we're actually going to massage the head up here in a clockwise circle, imagining that there's a clock facing upward from the crown of our head. And then we're going to float our hand just above our heads. And hopefully we'll be in a nice blissful state by this point, and we'll bring our right hand back down and we'll continue meditating in silence for a few moments. All right, so we can go ahead and close our eyes at this point. If you're wearing glasses, you might want to take them off. If anything is uncomfortable, you can just settle in and get comfortable. You can sit on the floor or a chair. And I do recommend removing your shoes if you're wearing shoes. It just helps to ground you a little bit more. And we can go ahead and take a deep breath. And slowly let it out. Whether this is new to you or whether you're trying it out for the first time, please keep an open and curious mind. And be gentle and patient with yourself. We can begin by placing the right hand on the left side of the heart. And with our attention on our hearts, we can ask a simple question to this nourishing meditative energy that we have sleeping within us. Who am I? Am I the pure spirit? Now we can lower the hand to the upper part of the belly. And once again, we're asking a question to this energy within us. The energy we are addressing is like an inner mother, in that it's there to nourish us and it has its own intelligence and wisdom. The name of this energy is Mother Kundalini. So we can ask a question. Am I my own teacher? We don't have to say these questions out loud unless you want to, but it's better to say it within ourselves. Am I my own teacher? Now we can move the right hand just a little further down so that it's on the lower part of the belly, just above the left hip. Here we'll make a request of this Mother Kundalini. Please give me the pure knowledge of myself. Let me know myself. This mothering energy actually respects our free will. And that's why we have to request what we want. And that's what self-realization is. It's the knowledge of ourselves. So we can ask sincerely within, please give me the pure knowledge of myself. Let me really know myself. This is not the learning that comes from books. It's the knowledge that a seed has about how to become a tree. Let me have the pure knowledge of myself. Now we can raise the hand back to the upper part of the belly. And here we will now affirm, I am my own teacher. Mother Kundalini, I am my own teacher. This is the first step of our self-realization or self-recognition. Just double check that you're not tensing up. We don't have to put a lot of effort or concentration. We're just being honest and sincere. Now we can raise the hand to the heart area. This is where our spirit resides. The spirit, which is known as Atma in Sanskrit, is the pure eternal spark of divine love within us. So here we can say, I'm not this body or this mind or these emotions. I'm not these changing things. I am the pure spirit. So we are identifying with the part of ourselves that loves unconditionally. I am the pure spirit. It helps to repeat this several times within. In fact, you can repeat it 12 times if you like. Now we can raise the hand to the left side of the neck, turning the head a little bit to make room. Here we will remove an obstacle, which is guilt. We don't need to feel guilty about anything. It doesn't serve our meditation. And it's not necessary. If we make mistakes, we can correct them. So here we can say quite firmly within, Mother Kundalini, I'm not guilty for anything. I don't condemn myself for anything. I am not guilty. We can repeat this within ourselves as many as 16 times. And just double check that you're not using additional effort or tension. We can be nice and relaxed as we do this. Now we can lean our head a little bit forward and place the hand on our foreheads. Here we can say inside ourselves, I forgive. Mother Kundalini, I forgive everyone, including myself. We don't have to think up scenarios that we're forgiving. We can just say it as a blanket statement. For the sake of our own peace. I forgive everyone, including myself. Now we can take that hand to the back of the head and lean the head a little bit back into the hand. Once again, just for our own peace of mind, we can say within ourselves, if I have made any mistakes against myself or others, may I also be forgiven. Mother Kundalini, please forgive me. We don't have to feel guilty. We don't have to feel bad about anything. That's not the point. It's just to lighten our load so that we can meditate with more ease. Now let's take that right hand and stretch it out. Place the center of the palm against the center of the crown of the head. This is the Sahasrara chakra, where we get our union, our yoga, our connection with the divine power. So we can press firmly and massage in a clockwise direction and ask very sincerely to this nurturing energy within us, please give me my self-realization. Please bring me into the state of thoughtless awareness or meditation. The wording is not so important. Just ask from your heart. Now we can gently raise the hand above the crown of the head. Notice if you feel either a cool or a warm breeze flowing. You may feel an upward tug. Now, leaving the attention in that space above the head, we can rest both hands open on the lap. And just be in silence. If any thoughts are still coming, we can just observe them without getting involved. Until the space between the thoughts gets wider and wider. Until finally we are silent inside. When you're ready, you can very gently let your eyes flutter open. And we will watch a short excerpt of a speech of Shri Mataji, seeing if we can remain in this meditative state.
I bow to all the seekers of absolute truth. At the very outset, I have to say that truth is truth. This absolute truth cannot be changed because it is absolute. It cannot be transformed. It cannot be explained because it cannot be described. Truth has to be experienced. It's an experience. In Sanskrit language, we have a word called Veda, comes from the word Vida. Vida means to know on your central nervous system. Like I can feel this. In the same way, you must know the truth on your fingertips. Bodha, also from where the word Buddha has come, is that enlightenment you have to feel it on your central nervous system. So this absolute truth is what it was and is and will be. But I would request you not to believe me, because this blind faith has caused so much trouble to us. All the people are fighting all over the world with this blind faith. They believe in this and they believe in that, they believe in that. This kind of faith is not going to help us. We have to feel it ourselves and experience it. Unless and until you experience, please don't have faith in me or in Sahaja. Very important it is to understand that this absolute truth is beyond your mind. We think no end of our mind. And all those who came from my country as well as from your own country to deceive you and make money out of you have used their mind very well. And your mind could not detect it. Even today they are there. So for you to see what is the truth, you must know that you cannot purchase it with money. This is very difficult to digest. Many people told me in America, Mother, you can never be successful, you cannot get people because they just believe that the person who doesn't take money has no validity. My experience was so horrible. In Boston, they asked me in the television, how many Rolls Royces you have? I have none. I said, my husband has only one car. So you are not in the business? No. Then they said, we cannot. We are sorry. You have to be in the business. So all these mental acrobats that have been going on in this country, I've been hoping to come to Berkeley. That everybody told me that Berkeley is a place where there are people who are truly seeking the truth and they are revolutionary. They do not accept anything that is just established. Imagine after so many years, 27 years, I am coming to Berkeley where I was really very anxious to come. So now, the time has come that we have to know the truth. We have to know the absolute truth. I call it as a blossom time because I find there are so many seekers of truth all over the world. And its time has come for these flowers to become the fruit. Very simple thing to understand that this is done by a power within you as explained. Whether you believe it or not, it is there. This power has to be awakened, that's all. Very simple thing, journey of 3 to 4 feet, that's all. But such a simple thing people don't want to accept. If you say eat this way, they'll say no, why not this and this way? Because of this mind. This mind is the one which has created real problems for us. I'm told some gentleman is making big money by telling that how to project this mind here and a project mind there. It's like a cocoon. In a cocoon, you dash here and dash there. You have to get out of it. When they said you are to be born again, clear, that doesn't mean that you put a signboard here, born again. No? Born again means something has to happen to your consciousness, to your awareness. You have to be truthful about it. How can you be satisfied with something which is not the truth? So what is the truth? Truth, if you understand, is not this body, this mind. These emotions, these thoughts and this ego, but it is that you are the pure spirit.
So meditation is the absence of thoughts, the absence of thinking. And as Shri Mataji said, the truth is beyond the mind. So let's keep our attention where Poornima showed us. Let's keep it all the while up there. And if it drifts and drops and thoughts are coming, again we're going to come back to this point. And just for a minute, let's be silent. We can keep the hands open on our lap and the eyes shut. We just remain in this peaceful state. And the music we make in the program, it's not a concert, it's there to help us go more thoughtless, really. Silence in my mind, finally, silence in my mind, finally, peace.
Thank you so much, Sia, for the beautiful, beautiful music and meditation. We're just going to keep our hands open in our lap. Just put our right hand on our heart. We're just perceiving the whole experience of the present moment through our spirit. Once again, we'll take our hand and press it on the top of our head. Just desiring with that intensity and that longing to feel our connection, to feel the grace of the Kundalini. Just raise our hand up above our head again. Just let it stay in that space. Just perceiving that subtle breeze. A wish fulfilled. We can relax our hands back into our lap. Just take a breath, and now I'll have you open your eyes. And I'm going to just move the camera down. So before and after our meditation, we use our hands to raise the Kundalini energy. So we're going to be taking our left hand, and it's going to be in front of our torso here at the base, and it's going to move up like this. And then while we're doing that, our right hand is going to wind around it. So you can start with your right hand at the back of your left hand, and then move it forward like this. All right? And as you're doing this, you're going to start to move your hand upwards through all the chakras in the system. And then when you get to the top of the head, you're going to wind it, tie a knot. All right, and then the second one, same thing. Just go slowly so you can feel it. Feel the vibrations. And then when you get to the top, tie 2 knots for the second one. And then for the third one, you're going to go up. You can watch your hands and really have your full attention on this. And then when we get to the top, 3 knots for the third channel. So that represents the 3 channels. All right, now we're going to protect all of our centers. So we're going to keep our left hand open at the left hip, and the right hand is going to cross over, and it's going to go over the top of your whole system, over top of your head and back, like an arc. So we're going to do that 7 times. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So that's the first time, but we're going to be doing that throughout the program, and it's going to be in the handouts in the program notes. So don't worry if you don't catch on right away, you will. All right, and with that, I'll hand it back over to Sia.
Thank you, Kerry. Now we all know how to begin, how to end a meditation. This brings us to the end of the meditative part. So stay with us because there's a few announcements, and after the announcements we have a short question and answer session with the panel. So tomorrow, day 3, inner peace and balance. Please join. You can join again on Zoom or you can join on YouTube. Join our WhatsApp community. It's a lovely group of people who will be there to help and support you. Also, you will get all the course reminders and the links if you need them. This QR code can come really handy in case you forget the website. Our website contains all the pre-recorded sessions as well as handouts. So for yesterday, for day 1, it concludes, for example, the handout. So here you can see our YouTube and Zoom links once again, the recordings, day 1, day 2. And here under resources, you can see now the handouts. So these handouts are covering for day 1, the self-realization, which for now, from tomorrow onwards, will be moved into the breakout rooms if you come later. So you can try it again, experience it again. Today's handout will cover what Kerry just showed us, the raising of the Kundalini for day 2. Can you see here the Bandhan, right? If you came late, not a problem. All the recordings are there. And we cover the course material over and over. So don't worry about that. And invite your friends, your family to join if you had a nice experience. All right, so in the chat to Q&A, you can pop your question. And I would like to invite the panelists back. That's Poornima and Kerry for a little chat amongst ladies today, right? Ladies only. Here we go.
Just worked out that way.
It did. How are you feeling?
Such a beautiful meditation you took us through, Poornima, and then the music. I'm just blissed out here.
I know. I felt like the music was just being bathed in bliss.
It became slower and slower, didn't it? In the silence.
Gorgeous. Yeah.
I just had
and
to
I'm
click
sure
away.
some people can relate to that sentiment, silence in my mind finally.
Yeah. Well, the song was really written for 21 days, Poornima knows because we've done art together. We have done programs together and musicals and theater things. And we always try to have our emphasis on the growth, on the spiritual growth. What can we convey with the music, right? So it's not just music to put out there, but some message or something that you can feel through this music, right? What do you think, Poornima? How does, for example, can I just ask you a direct question? How do you feel that Sahaja Yoga meditation has had an impact on your theater work, for example, on your acting?
Yeah, it's really profound because, it's interesting, like theater, we think of acting as pretending that you are acting like someone else. And ironically, I feel like even in our daily life, we often feel like we have to pretend, we have to, put on our work face when we go to work, and we have to put on our maybe our mom face with our kids. And, there's always all these roles we have to play. But what Sahaja Yoga has given me is an honest center where I can actually feel myself, because sometimes we can be so busy acting that we lose track of who we really are. So I would say that, first of all, in my life, Sahaja Yoga is where it's the center of my sense of self. Because when I'm identified with my spirit, like we say in that affirmation, then it's a stable center. I'm not jumping from one thing to another. And interestingly, if I put my attention on that when I'm also acting, then I can play each role to the hilt, like with full enjoyment. Even if it's a tragedy, like there can be a joyful, just playfulness in it, because I know what's what, and I know like where the center of that kind of spinning wheel of, of drama, where that center is.
It's nicely put. And I love the word identify, because when we have the hand on the heart and you say, I am the pure spirit, which is something we can do again and again in the day if we feel overwhelmed, just what am I identifying with? Am I identifying myself now with my role in my job, or with my role as a mom, or with whoever I think I am? Or am I just identifying with the spirit? And that calms us down, right? And that's something I definitely do. So the identification, it's important.
Yeah. Can I throw the question back to you and ask you how it's been for you? Like, I'm just curious, how you weave Sahaja Yoga in when you're making music.
Well, I think when you make music, one main thing you ask yourself is the meaning of it. Why are we doing all this? What's the meaning other than just some lively, lovely tunes? I think in the beginning, in songwriting, we have a tendency to outpour our frustrations into the songs. It's very easy to write a heartbreak song or a I'm so mad song, because we think that's our way of digesting. But then we kind of forget that the listeners are actually, maybe they identify, but they're kind of carrying this sentiment with them, and it's not helpful. So it's actually much harder to write something joyful. Actually, I must say that I was fortunate enough to get the message from the founder, Shri Mataji, once. She said, write something joyful. Because we wrote something by William Blake, who is a renowned writer, and we thought, oh, anything you pick from Blake must be fantastic, right? So we thought it's a safe way to write a song. And then she said, write something joyful. And that is a hard thing to do, because you feel, first of all, I've got to be in the joyful state, or do I have to be in a joyful state to write something that gives other people an upbeat, to lift them up, right? To give them a meaning, to give them something. So you have to put yourself in order first, right? And not just blurt it out there. And then as the second step, what are you going to put in there? I think when we did musicals together, for example, this was a nice way of, thinking about a character, right? What challenges does this character have? How can he solve them? And how does Sahaja Yoga flow into this? I mean, this is maybe going too much into detail, but the more we come into the course, maybe we can once talk about this. How characters are, how can we solve things of our little characters that we build, and how, at the end, bring some sort of a message or some vibrations. Actually, this brings me to the first question from the Q&A here. Actually, somebody was asking vibrations. Kerry, maybe you can answer that one. Vibrations, what are they? Why are we saying vibrations? How can they be felt? And what is this cool hot about?
Oh, yes. You were talking about William Blake, and I was just thinking about a quote of his, that when the doors of perception are cleansed, man sees everything as it is, infinite. And the vibrations that we're feeling are there's different aspects. Like the when we feel cool, this is the cleansing, almost like the cleansing of our perception of these different aspects of our being. And it may be very subtle at first, or maybe you might even be feeling heat in the hands, or maybe even some tingling when we're doing the meditation. And we call these as vibrations. And so when we're feeling cool vibrations, this is the expression that the Kundalini has cleansed this aspect, and especially from the crown of the head or flowing across the palms of the hands. One of the most amazing things about getting your self-realization, especially in modern times now, is that you'll learn as we go that there's different centers expressed on the hands. So if you're feeling something in particular, while we were meditating tonight on one of these fingertips, that's an indication, that's the feedback you're getting of these vibrations of the Kundalini, flowing through the system and going to different areas. So we'll learn more about that as we go. But if you're wondering, why are we referring to vibrations and why do we care about them? This is what Shri Mataji was describing in the talk, that the truth is absolute. There's no, we're not debating or saying, well, I have my truth and you have your truth. When we're all feeling the vibrations on the hand, this is the highest vibration. So that's what I would say, and I think also, it may take time to feel it, but I think most people, if the nerves are feeling sensitive and you're just starting to get an inkling of this, that's what we're talking about with vibrations.
Can I just add one
Poornima,
onto
if you
that?
want to add on, but I just want to throw in that some people in the chat actually relate to this also. Why did I feel today? Why did I not feel today? And other people are suggesting that they have done different meditations or Tai Chi where they talk about warmth and they try to compare. Maybe you can wind this in somehow.
Yeah, I just want to say one, very practical note, which is that sometimes we use this word vibrations for many, many different things. And we can even talk about sound vibrations when you play music and stuff. So just to be, reinforcing what Kerry is saying, that we are using this English word, but it relates to a Sanskrit word, which is actually the Param Chaitanya. And really it translates as the all-pervading energy of divine love. So we are feeling something that is actually scientifically measurable. If you feel like if you have 2 glasses of water and one has been vibrated, so to speak, it will have a different measurable difference from the one that has not. Likewise, within ourselves, when this cooling energy of the Kundalini flows, we do start to be able to feel it on our hands. If you are feeling heat through some other practice, the heat is an expression, like Kerry was saying, of friction. So, there are many forms of meditation out there. There's even this word yoga has been used for physical exercise. When we're talking about yoga here, we're referring to the original meaning of the word, which means union or connection. And in particular, connection with this all-pervading power. When the Kundalini emerges here from the crown of the head, we are actually getting connected to something greater than ourselves. So in general, in the practice of Sahaja Yoga, cool vibrations means a free flow of that energy. And heat means there is some blockage. Don't worry if you feel heat, it's already useful to be able to feel. But over time, we will learn how to remove that friction and get into the full flow of the cool energy.
I love how you wrap this up. It was literally what I wanted to add on as well. Also, very important not to feel, I have to feel this, I have to feel that. Just let it play out. It's in the beginning, we have all sorts of things shifting and moving. And I think the best thing is maybe just to observe at this point. Just observe what's happening. A good idea is to keep a diary, write it down. How did I feel on day 1? How did I feel on day 2? What shifted around? And you'll see over time, over the 21 days, things will move and change. And you will hear all the questions that you have in in the presentations, in the answers anyways. It'll be covered somewhere. So from tomorrow, we'll have breakout rooms as well, where you have the opportunity to meet people in breakout rooms and have your individual questions answered. For now, next question, bounce back to Kerry. I feel something on my body. Now, we're not talking just tingling, like literally parts of the body. How does that relate? Just very briefly, maybe.
Yeah, briefly, parts of the body are also, that's also feedback. It's an indication that the system is starting to, it's like the system's starting to come online, as so to speak. And so, the chakras are also expressed on different parts of the body. So that's what it is. There's some, it's just some feedback, something is working out. And, over time, things will start to clear. But take it easy. Everything's good. And it's really, the opportunity to have some really transformational experiences is here. I mean, I think if you're sticking, stick to this for, I think most people say within a couple of weeks even, that they start to feel a lot of clearing and thing, and a more free flow of energy. Yeah.
Poornima, you want to add on?
I think Kerry said it all there.
There's definitely a link to how we feel and illnesses, because our chakra level is just the root cause of everything, isn't it? But if we work on that, eventually also all our physical non-well-being, or however you say it in English, will improve.
And I think the pattern of thinking and like sort of being able to start observing that as you meditate, and I think you start to understand that, wow, this sort of pattern of thinking is linked in with my total body system, and by going into the thoughtless state more and more, all those kinks and things get worked out, and so they kind of play off of each other, the emotional states and the types of thoughts and things like that.
For sure. But then again, we don't want to say like, oh, we're here to heal everybody, because the healing is almost a side effect, isn't it? What do you think, Poornima? Healing.
Yeah, I think actually there's so much at play. There's so many aspects of our beings. There's our physical health, there's our mental health, there's our, connection to other people. So I invite you guys to really look at it as a voyage of discovery. I don't know if you've ever done this, where you go out for a walk and you think you're going, to the store to buy, I don't know, some vegetables, but then you meet a friend, and then, actually something much more magical might happen on that journey than this very,
Yeah.
you might say, I'm starting meditation to fix this thing, but keep your, your hands open and your yourself open to expansion, because the path of the Kundalini is kind of a spiral path. And the path of our evolution is like a spiral. If you can imagine like the way a flower unfolds, it kind of goes like that.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening with us. And it's really fun, and it's full of surprises and little bits of humor and everything. So I would say just stay open and go with the flow and just watch what happens as you grow.
That sounds like perfect final words for today's session, I find, before we start thinking too much. So maybe everybody, I wish you a great night, and keep your attention just there. It's not, one of the questions I observed here was also, is there time of the day? It's not, yes, we do meditate in the morning, we do meditate in the evening, but it's a state. It's a state that we sometimes have to remind ourselves of, and just be alert. It's a certain kind of awareness that we learn. And if you're walking through the day with your attention, just try this. Even if you don't understand anything about Sahaja Yoga meditation, all you carried with you was something's up there. Just do that, and just go through your day with your attention right here on top of your head. And if thoughts are coming, you just say no and go back here and see how the day goes. And through these experiences, we're going to meet again and again in the next couple of days and see how we feel. So maybe that's your homework. What do you think, ladies? Is it a good
Yes.
That's
homework?
great. I will try it too tomorrow, see how it goes.
Absolutely. I mean, sometimes people say, I don't have the time, or it's too loud in my house, or lots of things, but you know, people waste 10 minutes just looking at a phone, you know.
Yeah,
So
exactly. We're good
maybe
with
just
excuses,
like
aren't we?
redirect that, you know,
Yeah.
think about like, how can I get into that thoughtless state? The more you do that, the easier it becomes to get back there when you want to. So
The
We're
yeah.
still
secret is,
all
even
learning.
if you're looking at your phone, put your attention here and then
The
slowly
phone
goes
here.
down.
Maybe that helps. And with these words, well, everybody, it was great you made it tonight. We see you tomorrow, and you over the course of the you're gonna get to know a lot of different presenters. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. Stick with it, and see you tomorrow. Bye
Good night,
bye.
everyone. Bye.
The name of the raga is Rag Shivanjali.